Hey guys, Tomo back again. This is going to be my full review of the OnePlus 11 after all the hype. With OnePlus, you're getting one of the most powerful phones with the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip. You're going to have no issue with gaming. Everything is super fast and efficient. Never the phone get hot once, no matter how long you game or use the phone. So it is super fast, super fluid. So we're getting OnePlus, you just know you're getting a lot of sheer raw power. I tend to use my phone as a dash cam pretty often, so I just throw the OnePlus into my car mount, boot up my dash cam app, then I drive for 15 to 30 minutes and the phone does not even get hot. I record everything just fine. Surprisingly, the battery doesn't really drain a lot when I'm using my dash cam app either. And at $700, this is a great price for a flagship phone. This is my sweet spot, $700 and below. I wish the Galaxy S23 was $700, but it is $100 cheaper than the base Galaxy S23 that I use on a daily basis. And it is a much larger phone. Comes in at 6.7 inches compared to the 6.1 on the S23. So just in terms of price, you're paying less and you're getting a much larger phone. It also has Quad HD, which the S23 does not have. It has 80 watt fast charging, which the S23 does not have. And the charger is included in the box, which the S23 does not have. There's a lot to like here about this OnePlus 11 phone, but unfortunately, it is underrated and people don't really pay attention to it. People love Samsung and Apple. Actually, I'm the biggest Samsung fan you can find, but I really do enjoy OnePlus phones and I wish that they do get more attention before one day they might disappear just like LG. That's what I keep reminding people, and that's one of my biggest fears. More competition is always better, especially when we have these little guys including so many cool things at great prices. If we don't take advantage of them, at some point or another they may fade out. With the newest OnePlus 11, they took out wireless charging for some reasons. I would assume to save costs in order to get it down to the $700 range. I can live with that because if you have an 80 watt fast charger, there's really no need for you to use a wireless charger. This phone has excellent battery life and it should last you throughout the day. And if you have an extra 15 to 20 minutes to spare, just plug it in. It's not that much effort and then it'll last you more than a day. So I can live without fast wireless charging. I know people like to make a big deal of it, but I think it's fine. Although one thing it is a little bit odd is OnePlus did revert back to the USB-A cable on the end that's going into the plug. That doesn't really bother me either. If you have it plugged in, you're not going to remove it or anything too often. And the USB-A is not going away anytime soon, so I think it's fine. It's just a bit odd because most companies are going with double USB-C on both sides, but OnePlus is sticking with USB-A on one side. I still think it's a cost-saving measure, but I think it's fine. You gotta cut corners somewhere, and if you gotta include USB-A, albeit at least they include the 80 watt fast charging brick, so no complaints here on my end. Speaking of cutting corners, it is only IP64 water resistant compared to the IP68 on the Galaxy S23. I think it's fine as well if you're just brushing your teeth, have it near the water, splash proof, it is fine. Even with the Galaxy S23, I don't plan to swim in a pool with it or anything like that. So it's not the end of the world, but it is not as resistant compared to many of the other flagship phones. You're getting 5 years of security support, so you are in it for the long run. Good job to OnePlus for providing long support on this phone. It is a decent camera, video quality is just okay. I did not really go out of my way to use the camera on a day-to-day basis, but you can get some awesome photos with this phone. Currently I'm recording this video in 4K. I did try doing 8K in the past and it did not look that great. And it took forever to edit due to the fact that the files are much larger, but I will settle for 4K just so you guys can see the quality in this video. Currently just sitting in the office, I got my lights on, just one ceiling light, not doing anything crazy with light setup or anything like that. Another downfall with this phone is that it is not available in US cell phone stores, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, nobody's selling them, and I think that is a pretty big flaw. For some reason, US consumers, they tend to buy their phones at their carrier versus just buying it on Amazon or Unlocked. That is the preferred route for most people. And due to the fact that it is not in the store, people can't go there, they can't touch it and feel it. Only like the tech enthusiasts like myself will know these phones exist. So I think that is a big opportunity cost there for OnePlus not being able to strike a deal with these carriers. So the only way you can really get it in the US is on Amazon. Maybe Best Buy or some other places might have it too. I personally bought mine on Amazon, and when I purchased it, I was stuck with this plain black looking color. It looks and feels just like the OnePlus 10T, which is $50 cheaper. The only biggest difference is the camera module in the back, this giant ugly circular thing. I'm not impressed with this large looking sensor in the back, but it's fine. Maybe I would have been happier with the green color, and there aren't a bunch of color choices either. In terms of fingerprint, the OnePlus 11 is super fast. It is really big. Every time I touch it, I feel like I always hit it at the correct spot. No issues with unlocking this phone compared to Galaxy S23 and the Ultra. I feel like with the S series, even though they have the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, I always miss a sensor due to the fact that it is so small. I have to always touch it 2 to 3 times to get it working correctly. OnePlus, it is a large sensor, and every time I hit it, it works correctly the first time, at least 90 to 95% of the time. And on top of that, the face unlock works so fast that most of the time I don't even need it. Just one flick and it's already unlocked, or I just lift up my phone. So I rarely ever need to use the fingerprint sensor on the OnePlus due to the super fast face unlock. There are some weird quirks with this phone. If you're so used to using the Google Pixel or Samsung, for example, in a notification, if you swipe one direction, it will go away. If you swipe the other direction, it does give you a pause and you have to swipe it again to make it go away. But if you swipe it to the left, it does give you an option to snooze the notification. I think it is pretty cool, because there are some times I just want to look at the notification later and don't want to address at the moment. If I swipe it away, I might forget about it, but if I leave it there, it just looks daunting because I have 100 other notifications laying around. So I think it is a nice, cool feature in my opinion. Too bad I didn't get to use it a lot, but I do like the idea of it, and I can see why OnePlus included it in there. We also got the return of the alert slider. You can just slide this little thingy on top and then it will mute the phone. Very small, I use it here and there, not life-changing, but I do like that ability to kind of quickly toggle that whenever I want, instead of having to turn down the volume or go into the notification panel and turning mute on my phone. The OnePlus 11, if I use 5G all day, YouTube playing, music blasting, I can kill the battery in 9 hours, just as the case with any cell phones. But if I have it on Wi-Fi, use it normally, as I would if I'm at home, I don't see why you wouldn't just use your Wi-Fi since you're already paying for that. But with Wi-Fi on, normal usage, I can get 15 to 16 hours. So overall, great battery life. It just all depends on how you use your phone. And so for the final verdict, it really comes down to the price that makes this phone so appealing. At $700 is a great starting point. You're getting a really bright display. Even though when I use the S23, whenever I switch over to the OnePlus and I turn it on, I'm always impressed of how bright and vibrant it looks. And on top of that, it's a large screen as well, so it's a really satisfying bright screen. Great for gaming, watching YouTube, consuming media. You're getting a great battery life, and on top of that, you got the 80-watt fast charger. So realistically, you only need 15 to 20 minutes just to top it off. And OnePlus offers pretty much 90% of what the Galaxy phones have to offer with the S series, and maybe a little bit more with their fast charging. The only biggest downside is the camera is not as good, but I think if you spend enough time on it, you can take some great photos on this phone. So I wouldn't rule that out. But I know video quality wise, I can speak to that because I do use that pretty often. Samsung does offer much better video recording. At the end of the day, I still think the OnePlus 11 is super underrated, undervalued, and underappreciated. I really want to give this phone a fair chance, but most people weren't interested in the daily videos, so I'm gonna have to cut this series short. But I did want to give the proper farewell with the final review before setting it off into the sunset. But the OnePlus 11 is definitely up there with one of the greatest value phones of 2023, coming in at $700 and offering many of the features that Samsung have in their $1,000 Galaxy S23 Plus phone. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what your experience has been with the OnePlus 11 if you decide to get it. Please check my Galaxy S23 5 weeks review if you haven't already. Remember to like and subscribe. Let me know what other phones you want me to cover next. I am thinking maybe the Galaxy A54 or possibly Xiaomi if I can get my hands on one of those. I've never used a Xiaomi phone before. But appreciate the time. Please like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.